How you doing? Just on my way into the office. Thought I'd shoot a quick video for you and explain how banks are a lot like prostitutes. At least that's what I hear. Let me explain that. What I mean by banks are a lot like prostitutes. See, banks don't care if you have a nice hairdo. Banks don't care if you got nice boobs, nice ass, six-pack abs. They don't care how you dress. They don't care how shiny your teeth are. They don't care what hairstyle. Banks don't care. They don't care what kind of car you drive. All banks care about is making money. Now let's talk about prostitutes. They don't care what you look like. They don't care if you're 200 pounds overweight. They don't care if you're 85 years old. They don't care if you're male, female. They don't care. What do they care about? Making money. Right? That's it. So how can you use that to your advantage, knowing that banks only care about making money? Well, the uglier your credit is, the more the bank's going to charge you. So you need to start working on your credit scores. Now, 75 million Americans have bad credit. 75 million Americans have bad credit. Is that you? Do you have bad credit? I don't know. I saw some posts yesterday. I posted that 75 million Americans have bad credit. A couple guys even said that they knew they had bad credit and they're proud of it. That's like saying, I'm proud I get Fs. I'm proud I dropped out of high school and I failed at life. I'm proud that I fail. Right? It's not something to be proud of. You should be proud of a good credit score. That shows the world, or banks, creditors, how you take care of your responsibilities, how you pay your bills, whether you pay them on time, whether you're a man or woman of your word, or whether you're just a bad person. Now, not saying that if you got bad credit, you're a bad person. You might have went through some hard times. I went through some hard times. I filed bankruptcy. I had judgments on my credit. The only thing I never had on my credit was tax lien. I've had collections, charge-offs, repos, bankruptcies, foreclosures, short sales. I mean, you name it, I had it. And I'm not a bad person. I wasn't a bad person at the time. I was going through a bad time. But there are some people out there that are bad people. That they have no intention of paying their bills on time. They have no intention to honoring their word. They're just bad people. But banks and prostitutes care about really one thing, and that's making money. The cheddar. The cash. The greenbacks, right? That's what they care about, making money. So how can you pay the banks less money? How can you take advantage of that knowledge that the banks don't care about you? They care about money. That's all it is. Well, you got to increase your credit score, and there's a couple things you can do. Did you notice I'm in a different car today? I bought this yesterday. It's a Ferrari 599 GTB with beautiful red interior. Just learning how to drive it. It's actually quite fun. Trying to keep it under 100 on these back roads. It's more difficult than you would think. But I got a 10-year loan on this. I got a business loan. I set up a new company called DivorceYourDebt.com. The website's not up and running yet, but it will be. But Divorce Your Debt, that's our branch that does debt dismissal, student loan debt, credit card debt, business loans, personal loans, any unsecured loans. So I set up a new corporation called Divorce Your Debt. And I purchased this car with that LLC. Brand new company, no credit, nothing. I got the car. This car retails for about $355,000. I didn't pay that, but that's what it retails for. And I bought it through the business. Now, instead of doing a traditional 4 or 5 year loan, And I could have done that through Ferrari, a 5-year loan, and it would have been a half a point cheaper than the 10-year loan that I got on it. That's right, I got a 10-year loan. No, I got a 12. It's either 10 or 12. I got to look that up because now I don't remember. I think it's 10-year loan. But the point to that is banks are in it for the money. And what banks will do is they like to give you 2 and 3 year loans because they know that when you hit 4 years on a loan, that's going to increase your credit score. So a lot of times what we see is they stop reporting at 4 years on credit cards, and then these banks try to get you into these 2 and 3 year leases, 4-year loans, 3-year loans. And I could have done a 5-year loan, but the problem with that is I want to have a long-term loan. Now, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go full 10 years on the card, but I'm going to do what's called velocity banking, where I'm going to use a line of credit to pay it down significantly, and that loan will essentially be paid off in about 3 years. All right, but I'm not going to pay it completely off. I'm going to pay it down to a number of months remaining on the loan, and then times $1. And then I'm going to pay $1 a month. Literally, I'll pay $1 a month, just like I did on my vet, just like I'm doing on my airplane, just like I'm doing on my truck, my Jeeps, my car, my motorcycles. $1 a month for the full term of the loan. So you pay it down as fast as possible to avoid paying the high interest rates. And then you pay $1 a month until it's full term. Think of it like a pregnancy. You don't want your wife, or if you're a female, you don't want to go. Michelle's harassing me. I did pay her Jeep off early, but that's because I was laying in a hospital bed freaking out because I was afraid that, I was a little delirious at the time. I was afraid that I forgot to pay her car payment. That's before I had it on autopilot. So I ended up paying it up twice from the hospital bed, and I paid it off early, but I digress. But what you can do is you want to pay your loans down as fast as possible to avoid the interest rate. And then you want to pay $1 a month until the loan matures. And just like with a bankruptcy, you don't want to have, bankruptcy. Just like with a pregnancy, you don't want to have the baby premature. You want to go full term. And the banks will punish you if you pay it off early. If you pay it off prematurely, they punish you for that. How do they punish you? Well, they report it to the credit reporting agencies. And when someone pulls your credit, that information is sent instantly over to FICO. And then FICO looks at it. And FICO lowers your credit score. And then the banks charge you more money. All right, so that's how that works. So you never want to pay off your installment loans early. You always want to go full term. Go as long as you can. Okay? On your credit cards, what I did on this car is I actually used business lines of credit to finance it, but then I also got several new business cards in the business name. And so I put my down payment down with the credit cards at what interest rate? A big fat 0% interest rate for the next 18 months. Now in 18 months, I'm going to have to pay that down, pay it off, right? Otherwise it's going to be 20%, but I'll have it paid off by then. But I'm using other people's money. I'm using the bank's money to do this stuff. And again, banks are like prostitutes. They only care about money. They only care about the cheddar, right? So you need to make sure your credit is as good as possible. Otherwise, the banks are going to rape you. What's beeping at me? Oh, I just took my seatbelt off. That's what's beeping at me. New car. And now it's beeping a whole bunch. There it goes. But the banks care about money. Michelle. Banks care about money. Prostitutes care about money. Or I could say strippers care about money, right? They're in it for the money. The banks are in it for the money. They don't care about your looks. They don't care about anything about you. They simply want to charge you interest. And knowing that, you need to work on your credit score. And this guy posted, and I appreciate the post. He said that credit is dead, cash is king, and Bitcoin is king. And I got news for you, pal. Cash is dead. Credit is king. And crypto technology is not going anywhere. But dude, they're going to base it on credit, right? There's not very many things you get in life a cheaper deal if you pay cash. Maybe a prostitute, maybe a stripper, but you don't. Yeah, that's right, William. Maybe drugs, maybe you can buy some pot. I don't know, some heroin or coke or something, get a better deal if you pay cash. But it's always better to pay with credit. One of the ways that I negotiated this car down from what they wanted to almost $30,000 less was they thought I was going to finance it with Ferrari. And the last minute, I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I'm going to have the money wired over to you. So that's one of the strategies that I learned through exoticcarhacks.com, PJ, is how to drive down that price as low as possible. Because when the dealerships finance the cars for you, they get a little spread on that. They get a commission on that. And as long as you don't pay that loan off within 6 months, they get all of that commission, which is why you always want to finance it or at least look at the financing, right? And if they'd have gone 10 years, I would have financed with them because I wanted the 10 years of installment because that's going to raise my credit score over time. Because as I start whacking away at that principal, they will report to the credit reporting agencies that I've made extra payments, which then shows that I've had the account open longer than I have. So if I go and whack at it next week and throw $50,000 at the loan, it's going to show that I made like 50 payments. Hold on, Michelle's trying to get in. And so that's a way to manipulate your FICO credit score if you know the game, how they work.
Are you taking me to lunch in this hot car?
I'm going to take you to lunch in a second.
Woo!
All right, I guess that's a hint that she's hungry and she's ready to go, right? So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you later.